Well, we'll begin this morning by speaking to the editor, Political Economist Online, Mr. Ken Ugeche, who also speaks to this. Mr. Ugeche, good morning, and let's hear from you. How can Nigerians choose more efficient individuals as governors, as lawmakers, as they go out to vote tomorrow? Your perspective?
Actually, a crucial election in terms of governance at the grassroots level, because it involves the states and then the people that will represent the various people in their local assemblies. So this is a much critical election. And why do I say that? Because we have seen that in this country, governors over the years have lived on handouts only, handouts from the central government, which they share every 30 days. Except for, if you look at it, Lagos and then maybe River State that have a IGI. The IGR is a little bit up there. In fact, Lagos can even be self-sustaining from the statistics over the years, just because they looked inward and were able to maximize the commercial nature of their state. I also expect the incoming class of governors and then those that are going for a second term, if they win, and should they win, I expect them to be more creative in terms of sourcing for revenue, not depending on the federal government basket. And how do we go about this? Nigeria is basically an agrarian country, and we have not fully tapped into the potential that we have in agriculture. If we actually do agriculture on a commercial scale, in the manner that has been done in the Netherlands, in the manner that has been done in other countries that are even landlocked countries, we shouldn't be begging. No state in Nigeria actually should be looking to Abuja every 30 days to pay salaries or to execute projects. So the incoming governor should be able to, on their own, motivate themselves and their states and all the components in their cabinet for everybody to be resourceful, looking inwards, looking at the strength of your state. Every state has abundant mineral deposits. Every state has the capacity to go into fishery for those that are bordered by rivers or littoral states. They also have the capacity to go into full-scale agriculture, cultivating the very fertile land that God has given them. But we have become very lazy. We also recall that actually in those days when it was regional, many states lived on agriculture, many regions depended on their farm produce. I recall the plantations in the old Bender state, the rubber plantations, where they tap and get what they call loam, which they use for tire and the rubber industry. I recall also that in those days, the Southeast depended on palm oil. So every state in this country has the capacity to generate their own revenue, to be self-sustaining, so that whatever you get from Abuja, you can now use for other things. And truly, that is actually the mental indolence of the governors over the years. They have not been able to. A governor cannot be in office for 4 years, and you cannot point to what you have created in terms of wealth. It shouldn't be so. 4 years is enough for a government or a governor of a state to start a project on a commercial scale, execute that project to commercial success before even leaving. And good they think that some of them may be coming back for another 4 years. So it gives them time to also grow what they have started. I know some states that are planting a lot of palm trees because they want to go into the allied industry, the industry that are tied to that palm produce. Because in the palm industry, especially, nothing is a waste. And in most of the cash crop that we have in this country, nothing is a waste. Technology has been able to, those things that we consider waste before, technology has been able to turn them into other materials, either as raw materials for other companies or even as finished products. So every state has the capacity to be self-sustaining. But can they do it and will they do it? But that is also the agenda we should be setting for them as journalists. That they shouldn't come to office with a mindset to begin to go to Abuja every 30 days to collect their so-called
All right, Mr. Ogbeche, the issue of states looking inwards is obviously not a new conversation instead of depending on FARC monthly. But the thing is, what do you expect the new administration, returning administration in some cases, what do you expect them to do differently? What do you think they can do differently to change the narrative when it comes to this issue of states looking inwards?
Okay, my take on this actually has been the issue of the true fiscal federalism that people have clamored for. Every state should be allowed to control resources within that state. And if you allow them to control the resources, so that this federal central government that has been so bloated and overfed and now looking bigger than the elephant should also be creative, should also be more prudent in their fiscal dealings. What has happened over the years is that because there is this guaranteed money every 30 days, the states governors tend to be lazy. But my take is that this is not the time, because in this century, technology has shown that a lot of things are possible. So states should create that environment. And the environment in this instance means that, for instance, if a state has capacity to go into agriculture, you can create cluster of farmers, deliberately so created, even among the young people, even among the middle class people. Create clusters where people can go into commercial farming. I'm not talking about system farming. Commercial farming funded by the state. We saw what the CBN has done with the Anchor Borrowers program. And today most people are eating made in Nigeria rice, grown in Nigeria rice. We can also do that at the state level for different plans. It's very doable, and the only thing is that these governors lack political will. Political will because there's a comfort coming every 30 days. And that's why people like me clamor for that fiscal federalism, that every state must control its resource, all the resources in the state, then you pay royalty to the center. If we get to that level, as we see it in other crimes, for instance, the United States, that we have borrowed their own brand of presidential system of government. If we borrow from them, let us copy completely, even the fiscal aspect of the federal government that we run. So states must be allowed to control, to a reasonable degree, the resources available to them. We have been doing that in a manner that actually flouts the law. For instance, Zamfara has been made to even take care of their own gold. Even though it was against the law, it was only when it caused problem that Nigerians got to know that Zamfara has been mining gold. Other states have their own mineral deposits. They should be allowed to also mine their own resources, mineral resources, and commercialize it and make money from it and pay royalty to the center. So if we do it that way, states will be self-sustaining. Definitely they will be. I think that is the formula Nigeria should be pushing.
All right, Mr. Ken Ogbeche, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Although, of course, that issue of controlling of resources would have to go through the lawmakers and to empower or decongest, as you have said, the center and give the states the power to control their resources. I guess that one is a long one, which will also need to do lawmaking and all of that. Thank you so much. Mr. Ken Ogbeche is publisher, Political Economist Online, sharing his thoughts with us.